All right, before we get started today, I have a shout out to a new patron on the channel, bringing us up to 22 patrons. My goal for the end of the year is to get to 40 at least. Jonathan Needham joining the team at the second tier. I really appreciate it, Jonathan. Your support means a ton. Also, correction on one I gave you last week, Brent Nitsch. He told me that's how you pronounce his name. I was struggling to pronounce his name, and I always think it's super important to pronounce people's names correctly. So I really appreciate it, Brent Nitsch. So we're going to hop in now. I'm going to actually start the episode. But to those guys, your names will be on the ending credits of the videos starting in September. So thank you for your support. Means a ton. Hello, my friends. Welcome back in. It's Winter Wipeout Bundesliga edition. The second episode. Today we are looking at years 2 and 3 of the Bundesliga to see how wiping out has or has not impacted. Oh no. Okay. You can tell. Bayern has won the title again. Okay, that's year 3. Year 2, Dortmund sneaks in by a whopping 4 points to claim the title. So here's what I want to know from you. How many years should we be taking at a time here? Should we be doing 2 years at a time? I think at the beginning, I want to do 2 at most, because I think when you see the transfers in and out, that's going to be players that we recognize. But then, you know, maybe if we get past year 6 or 8 or something like that, taking it more like 5 years at a time to see what the impact is, because by that point, it's like, oh, these are completely different teams and all that kind of stuff. But, all right, so if we start out the series, Bayern won the title despite being wiped out by 10 points over, and Dortmund on 52 points. And then the next year, Dortmund bounces back a 20-point swing to take the title from Bayern by 4 points. Leverkusen, Hoffenheim, and RB Leipzig filling up the top 5 there. Wolfsburg dropping out. Schalke rising to 7th from 12th. Bit of a shock there. And then the following season, Dortmund takes a bit of a hit, 63 points, although to be fair, that's a 9-point swing, and Bayern jumps up to 76 points. Leverkusen, Hoffenheim, Dortmund, Wolfsburg filling out the top 5. So let's go back and see what happened after we wiped them out in July of 2018. What happened with Bayern? And let me move myself here because my face is going to be above. There we go. There we go. So we wiped them out 17-18, so nothing happened in that summer window. Okay, this is where it happened. All right, Goretzka comes in from Schalke on a free, but again, we had already wiped out at this point, so that has nothing to do with the transfer fee being free. It's just an interesting thing. Iron Robin left, Douglas Costa left. That is the day before we wiped him out, so that we've had no impact on that. So 40 million out, 114 total, but 40 million of that was already agreed. Now you have to wonder, and we don't know, this 35 million rising to 48.5 million for Kingsley Coman, was that because of the wipeout, or is that already in place? But I would guess, because it's July 10th, that it was because of the wipeout. Then Renato Sanchez for 4.6 million. Juan Bernat for 3.5 million going to Dortmund. Interesting. Nicholas Sul, I'm sorry if that's not right, 30 million to Chelsea in the January window. So are they kind of going like, we don't have any money, we got to sell somebody to kind of, you know, balance the books a little bit? And then some small ones from there. The following season, 152 million in. They got that prize money, I guess, and then 53 million out. So, 99 million going on the side of, or I guess from your perspective, the side of bringing people in. So 20.5 million for Sebastian Driussi. Oh, dirty! I just saw it. I wonder how many of you were like, mate, look at it. 13.75 million for Christian Pulisic, leaving Dortmund to go to Bayern. Oh, that is doing Dortmund wrong. You'd have to think he's probably going to be number 1 for sure. Ivan Calviero for 7.25, Ricardo Rodriguez for 46 million, and Lianco from Torino for 12.25 million. Oren Busi for almost $1 million from Dortmund as well. So they snagged 2 players, and then Arp for 51 million from Hamburg. How much is he's worth? 35.5 million now. I'm just kind of curious. You got 28. I'm sorry. I love Christian Pulisic, so we're going to look at him. You may not be interested. 25 starts, 3 subs, 5 goals on a 7.26. He played well. 7 starts in continental competition on a 6.8. Way to go, lad. 5 substitute appearances for the U.S. men's national team. What are you thinking, whoever is in charge in this version of Football Manager? Are you serious? Okay, so the outs, they had, Kaiserslautern, who, what division are they? They're in the second Bundesliga. They're in the third Bundesliga right now. 700K, 2 million for Marco Friedel to Augsburg. Yeah, Javi Martinez to Man City for 40 million. And then Driussi for 9.5 million that they just signed. Wasn't it over here? Am I blacking out? They signed him in they signed him in July for 20.5 million and sold him in January for 9.5 million. I just got to see that. Got only 3 substitute appearances on a 7.03. That is some bad business right there. You pick up a player for 20.5 million after you've been wiped out and you're kind of rebuilding, and you play him for 3 substitute appearances. That maybe he got injured. I don't know. And then coming up this upcoming season, Robert Lewandowski for 40. Lewandowski. I'm not gonna remember to edit that out. So sorry. 40.5 million to Man City. Nobody in thus far. Okay, that's Bayern. And then the following season, so they dropped. Dortmund taking the title. So let's see, what season did we wipe them out? July of 2019. Whoop, not head coach movements. Oh, I've clicked all over the park now, haven't I? July of 2019. Okay, so again, these were already sorted. There were 3 players from Bayern on freeze. My goodness. And then they don't bring anybody else in because they've been wiped out. 950K in the January window. Chiesa from Birmingham City for 4.8 million. And then Zieler from Stuttgart for 10.5 million. 16.25 million total. 59 million out. But again, let's look. Okay. Did they sell Pulisic because they got wiped out? Is that the reasoning? So, because obviously this one was already aligned, and then this is 8 days after we wipe them out. Are they like, oh, we got to make some moves here? So 13.75 there. Paslak for 24 million. Bredlow for 2.4 million. Schmelzer to Olympiacos for 7.75 million. Is it Isak to Leverkusen for 10.25? I mean, that's a lot. That's whatever that is. So 44 million swing, 43 million swing, something like that on the outs. The following season, nobody in for the upcoming season. So that July 1st, when you usually see a lot of, like, obviously these are transfers out, but you usually see a lot of transfers in because you've got cash money. Nothing coming in right now. Let's go take a look. They only have a local reputation. They're rich. Or is this already after I wiped them out? I don't remember. Either way, 24.56. I mean, they've got 220 million in the bank. They didn't need to sell Christian, man. Come on, man. All right, and then the following season, Bayern again, who we've already looked at. But you can see, is that the impact? Dortmund having to sell some players, dropping them to 4th place. I mean, to be fair, it's by 2 points, but they still dropped to 4th place. And then we'll have to see how things are looking for the upcoming season. So, let's go take a look. I appreciate the comments. You guys let me know, like, one team starts in the group stage and one team starts, whatever it was, 3rd qualifying phase, and then 4th and 5th are in the Europa League group stage. So there's definitely some teams we can go take a look at. I've just got to figure out. See, okay, we're here, 18-19, because we already looked at 17-18, right? 18-19. Let's look at the Champions League. And I will probably miss some of these teams. Okay, it's from the previous season, so we should be looking for Bayern and Wolfsburg in the Champions League. So let's try that. So 18-19, right? Okay, so 3rd qualifying phase, one of the teams. Is that what it just said? Apparently not. Apparently not. Maybe it's best place, 3rd qualifying phase. What are you talking about? Best place playoff? No. Did it change? Okay, let's just go look at the group stages. Look for the German. There we go. Is it Leverkusen? How did I miss that? Okay. Third place, 3 points. Not so great against Milan and Chelsea. RB Leipzig, last. Ooh, 3 points against Porto, Roma, and Arsenal, all above. Wolfsburg, my goodness, 7 points. Slightly more respectable. I mean, you're playing Man United PSG. I mean, that I could see, right? Like, Bayern, 10 points. Liverpool eking them out on either a like result or goal differential or something. And then that is it. So nobody gets past the group stage, and I guess that's really what we're interested in. All right, oh, hold on. Let's look at the following season. Let's just go straight to the group stage. Dortmund getting through, okay, 10 points. So we'll have to see what happened after that. Bayern getting through on 7 points. I saw another one. Leverkusen, 14 points, getting through quite handily, I think you could say. All right, so now let's look at the first knockout round. Man United knocking off Hoffenheim. Man City knocking off Leverkusen. So the Premier League beating up on the Bundesliga here. Real Madrid beating Dortmund. And Atletico Madrid being Bayern. So a complete sweep of the German teams in the... That's the 1920. Yeah, the 1920. Yep. Knockout stage. I was thinking I had my years messed up. Again, this is the upcoming season, which we've obviously not gotten through yet. So let's go I'm just going to go straight to the group stage. This is going to be faster for us if we go do that. Let's go back here. Group stage. All right, what do we got? Anybody? Freiburg. Oh, just missing out. PSV and Everton. That's fair competition. Hoffenheim coming out on top. 14 points over Sporting and Real Sociedad. I just realized I'm floating in the sky. Let's move me back down. There it is. Good times. Is that it? Really? Do teams join in after they get bumped out of the competition above? Yes. Real Madrid defeating Wolfsburg. Leverkusen beating Ajax on a 5-0 aggregate score. Bayern losing to Lyon. Ooh, it's not the best if you're Bayern. And Marseille defeating Hoffenheim. So France beating up on Germany a little bit as well. Let's look at the next round. Second knockout round. Leverkusen making a run. Beating Saint-Etienne. Anybody else? No. Okay, so did they go all the way? Did they go? No. Okay. Beating Feyenoord on a 3-2 aggregate score line. Semifinal. Beating Shakhtar 4-1 in the final. Oh, they lose to Monaco. Disappointment, my friends. And then the following season, let's look. Wolfsburg coming out on top. Schalke coming out on top, 11 points. RB Leipzig in second. I almost called Red Bull Salzburg. I almost said Leipzig, but we just saw them now, didn't we? Okay, so let's... Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Seriously, drop-down boxes, you're killing me. My goodness. Leipzig losing to Zenit. Wolfsburg losing to Valencia on a 3-2 aggregate score line. Schalke beating Beşiktaş. I'm doing my best, okay? I'm doing my best. So that's the only one that gets through. Second knockout round. Beating Dynamo Kiev on a 5-2. Thumping. Beating Shakhtar on a 3-2. Losing to Milan. 6-0. 6-0 on aggregate, my friends. That's not very good, you could say. So that's what's going on in the Bundesliga. I think it makes sense when we're looking at the individual teams to do it 2 years at a time. I'm looking at my clock here. We're going to be about 14 and a half minutes as we wrap up this episode completely. So I do like taking a look at the Champions League and the Europa League stuff. Thank you. I think it was Mike that asked me to do that in the Scotland series, and it helps to get those reminders. So I was able to hop in and do that here. We got through two seasons, looking at the results, looking at the transfers to the teams. And again, we're going to hopefully have more teams that are getting knocked out or bumped down. So hopefully not Bayern and Dortmund winning every year. So we'll have more teams to track their transfers as well. So if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit the like button. I really appreciate all the support on the channel. It's been massive, my friends. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one.